Good day, Spartan Willie here, and welcome back to our Rebel Motorsport Manager F1 2022 Manager Mod set. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the channel. Now we've got the Zandvoort GP, which is a very important race for Max, obviously, as it is his home Grand Prix. So we're going to try and get him the win today. But just before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to Ninja Zerk, Harry FC, Lord Glorious, Andrew Knott, Misty, The Prodigy Dano, and Cicero. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but they were our comments on the last two videos. It's awesome having you guys give your feedback and input on the series. It really makes this whole thing worth doing. Also, I just want to say thanks so much for the constant support on it as well, with all the likes and views. As always, it honestly just keeps me going with the daily uploads. It's not always easy, but knowing how much you guys enjoy it really gives me that motivation. So just make sure to keep leaving likes, support the series. Just comment down below any thoughts, feedback or suggestions, and consider subscribing as well. We're almost at 1,300 subs, so it'll be awesome to hit that. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so time for prep at Zandvoort. Now, we had a quick vote at the start. It was for spec engines next season, which I think is a terrible idea, so I voted against it. But I went to a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was against. So no spec engines next season. If we were to play on, let me know your thoughts of that in the comment section below, whether you want to see a season 2 or not. I have another idea for a series that I want to do, but I'll put it to a vote or something as we get close to the end of the season. Now, we also worked on the performance for the rear wing, which is important around Zandvoort. So we've been putting that off for a while because we have other parts to work on, but with that engine build, we'll call it a creative engine build that we started last episode. No new parts this time out, so just working on the performance of that rear wing. And we've also gone ahead and given Verstappen some of the better parts back because we want him to get a win at his home Grand Prix. It'll be a bit of a morale boost and good for him. So hopefully he doesn't DNF or do anything silly, and he gets the win at his home Grand Prix. But on to qualifying. Alright, so qualifying time here at Zandvoort. We have some awesome news. The fact that Russell went out in Q1 and Hamilton went out in Q2. To be honest, it was very fine margins. I wasn't sure I got it right in Q2, but we got there. Both our guys are through. It was rainy pretty much the whole thing. We actually set our fastest times on inters, which doesn't happen very often. Usually there's at least a little period where you get the slicks in. But on to Q3 here, we're just going to do our one run strategy. We're going to smash it out of the park and pick up a 1-2. Verstappen on pole, Perez close behind. The Ferraris are also there. Onto the race. Alright, race day here in Zandvoort, and it's going to be a wet one by the looks of it. We've got a little rain cloud at the bottom there. And we have two Ferraris behind us and Alonso. I'd put money on Alonso being... he will take second off Perez. He always seems to shoot up from the race start. Really good at starting races, so we've got to watch out for him. But this weather does not look very dry at all. It's going to go like almost monsoon conditions here. But we're going to start on the inters. I'm sure everyone else will do the same. We can probably go pretty hard on these inters from the start because we're going to pit after about 10 laps or so. Well, yeah, probably way before 10 laps to be honest. But we can drive these tyres into the ground, then go on to wet. So we'll see what happens here. Again, eye on Alonso. This car's going to shoot up the grid, but the 5 red lights are there, and they're gone. And oh, okay. Okay, Perez takes the lead of this Grand Prix. The Ferraris are going to overtake Verstappen as well. And here comes Alonso, the man who I, for some reason, focused on. And like I said, the guy just starts really well. He's up into third already, jumps 2 cars. One of it being our homeboy Max, who is not having the best of starts at his home GP, but still plenty of time to win that back. He can attack a little bit more as the Alpines are attacking each other, 3rd and 4th. Quite interesting there. A bit like the racing points at Jeddah. Plug the race review on the channel. Check that out if you haven't already. But Perez, who's absolutely taken this race by storm, he doesn't even have the good parts in this car. I mean, he's got some. I didn't give Verstappen all the parts, but he's definitely got the better parts as Verstappen recovers and gets into second here. So the rain period coming up very quickly indeed, and I wonder if we're going to see Hamilton. I mean, he brought some weird stuff at Spa last time out where he was on slicks, which was just bizarre, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull off the inters in that wet spell, so I think he's definitely going to have to come into the pits. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see any sort of heroics from Hamilton on that front, but here we go. Verstappen slowly cutting down that gap on Perez. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, as it's definitely time for the wets now. We're one of the last ones on this inters. That's the 2-time speed can sometimes catch you off guard, but that's fine. Hopefully we don't lose too much time. I don't think we'll lose any time, if I'm being honest, but we've changed the pit crew over. I'm hoping for a mistake-free run. Let's do it, lads. Come on. Yep. Perez is through, and now it's time for Max. Alright, wet time, and it is pretty much monsoon conditions, I believe, or at least very rainy. I'm pretty sure the little lightning bolt does mean monsoon. But here we go. This is probably the wettest we've seen it all season on race day. It doesn't happen very often. I'm very closely watching Verstappen. He does not want to crash out at his home GP. And I don't want to jinx it again by talking about it, so let's move. Alright, so that's the monsoon period over. It was quite a boring little period of the race, so I don't think you missed anything at all. But one thing that I failed to comment on at the start of this race is that Hamilton is not in the points. So no matter what, if Verstappen, Verstappen or Perez win, it's a big W on the gap. I mean, oh, he's just gone on the points, but hopefully someone in front of him pitted. No, he just overtook Ricciardo. But I think people are starting to switch back on the inters. I'm going to try and put off the inters for as long as possible. That being said, they want to go on inters, so I guess we switch back to intermediates and then make the stop onto slicks. I know I said I was going to try, but when they want inters, I suppose. But here we go. Hopefully no mistakes in the pit. Perez is fine, and then double stack with Verstappen close in behind. He'll get it done too. So they're actually quite nicely separated there for a pit stop, about 3 seconds, which is lovely stuff. I mean, real life Red Bull would be pushing the sub 2 seconds on the pit crew, but that's fine. Now I'm really hoping that we don't get a safety car here, because we have a good little thing going on here. Perez has got lots of excess fuel, burning that now. If we have a safety car, well, he will have to go on low fuel mode, and that would just mean he'll have a ridiculous amount of fuel. I forgot to underfuel him, but to be fair, I don't know what underfueling really does, because he had the best start I've seen from him in a while, and we didn't underfuel the car, so I don't really think it does anything. So we're not going to even bother with underfueling anymore. He can just turn up the engine mode in the race. We've got the engine reliability for it, so we may as well do that instead. We see more of a performance boost out of it, but almost time to pit onto slicks here. In fact, there's no need to take a risk. I was going to say, do we take a risk, but there's really no need. We're 20 seconds ahead. We'll just follow what the rest of the grid do, but... Oh, safety car. Okay, nope, now we're not going to follow what the rest of the grid do. And just what I said, I didn't want a safety car, unless it's Hamilton. No, it's not Hamilton. Damn it. And this is bad for Hamilton, well, bad for us in the Hamilton race, because he's going to be able to cover all the gaps in front of him. And let's be real, it just seems to work for Hamilton every downtime. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and pit onto some slicks and hope that the track dries out that little bit more. So then if they don't pit anyone around us, then they have to pit after the safety car, and we'll have a bit more of a gap. But here we go, we're the only ones on slicks on the grid. There's a couple lap cars between us. Let's not get into that with Formula 1. Very controversial topic as of last season. But yeah, safety car's out. Alright, safety car returning to the pit lane. So we're going to get ready to press this pause button and turn up all their engine modes and stuff, because we don't want to miss a beat here. Now the track's a bit damp. Verstappen, try and stay on it, please. We don't need you colliding with any walls. None of your fans will want to see that. But let's switch on board with Verstappen. We get a bit more of a general view of the grid. These blue flag cars could have let our boys through straight away. And now the race between them's on. Again, team orders not happening. But Perez, if he can win this race, he fully deserves it, because, like I said earlier, he's just got the better parts. And there it is. See what I mean with the strategy of the AI? That's what I said, and they've actually gone ahead and done it. They didn't pit on the safety car, but they pit 2 laps after the safety car goes in, and they've just lost almost 20 seconds on us. So, I mean, we're battling against training cones here in this race. That was a really bad pit decision from them. I was a bit worried when no one else did it, but it just means that the whole AI is on the same low level. But it actually looks like Perez is going to hold on here. We're going to let him push a little bit, because they've both got a bit of excess fuel. Verstappen not so much, so you can go back on medium. Perez has just got smooth driving, so he can just afford to attack more often, so really works in his favour. But he's really pulling away from Verstappen now. They can push these tyres a bit more into the ground with light footed, which is always extremely handy. But 7 laps, and I think Perez might steal the show a little bit, but we did say we're going to prioritise him, and look who's in 3rd place. It's just not going to happen for Verstappen this season, the championship, because he's got the fastest lap as well. So really Verstappen gets a 2-point gain on him, and it's just not going to happen. The only chance we have is with Perez, and it's still going to be an absolute mission. So the good parts are going to go back in Perez's car, I think, and we're just going to have to all the eggs in the Perez basket. We can't really split them anymore. We gave Verstappen the tools to win this race. He didn't come through, but I mean, he might still, we never know. But it's not looking good for him now with 3 laps to go. We're going to speed through this race a little bit. We're just going to tell them to chill out. We don't want any silly accidents. We'll tell them both to calm down a bit. And just coast to the end of this race here. Final lap, Sergio Perez, what a performance. Didn't have the car under him. Oh, he did have the car under him compared to the rest of the grid, but not compared to his teammate Verstappen, who we still have all the best parts in every category on the grid. But here we go. Sergio Perez crosses the line for a very, very well-deserved race win. Sergio Perez on the top step, again. So this is becoming a very familiar sight with the Mexican on the top step. It's good to have Hamilton on the third step. I'd rather him not be on the podium at all, but here he is, and at least he's not second, but he did get fastest lap, so like I said, that sort of mitigates any sort of gap closure but for Verstappen. But Perez has got a decent gap close of 9 points there, so, and the constructors is looking good for us too. Alright, so our shady engine is now complete, so next episode we'll look at designing a new part, but it is back-to-back weekends with Monza, so we'll see that next episode. Make sure to catch that one. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you're not already, and leave any thoughts, feedback, suggestions in the comment section below. But thank you for watching.